Hi everyone, now the psych here. I'm back for part two of my video called Stress Less. Again, this is for informational purposes only. And let's just jump right back into it. Okay, so ACT addresses cognitive fusion. Okay, so instead of seeing yourself as somebody that sometimes gets a little anxious when in the company of people, you might see yourself as a social phobic. You actually identify as that. So when you do this, your identity becomes fused with that label. It's really being somewhat psychologically inflexible. It might be more difficult to deal with the issues regarding the anxiety that you might be experiencing, in this mindset rather than a more flexible mindset. Now, I can actually see why, sometimes identifying with certain traits, like, I want to be a healthy person or something like that, I am a healthy person, might be very beneficial for you in terms of, seeing yourself as a healthy person. So you're going to be making healthy choices in terms of diet and things like that. But there's always the flip side of the coin, and as pointed out in this case. Okay. Now, an important part of the book in my mind is what values clarification is. Okay. Really, how often do we sit down and think of what is really important in our lives? How often do we do that? We might be taking on the values of our family or our culture, but do they really align with, with my values? Okay, are these the values I want to incorporate for me as an individual? Now, values clarification. 1, exploring. 2, choosing and acting on your values. And 3, publicly affirming. And 4, acting. Okay, now again, you can read the book, Stress Less, Live More by Richard Bologna, and you get a lot more information about this, but I'm just kind of giving you some of the highlights. So exploring your values, what matters most in your life. Then choosing and ranking your values. Your most important values are your core values. These are the values that basically indicate who you are. Now, publicly affirming your values. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go and shout to the world, who you are, but maybe you publicly affirm your values in a private conversation. Okay. Sometimes sharing your values can be challenging, not just to yourself, but it can be challenging to others. Okay. The recommendation is first to share your values with people that you trust and accept you, even if your values different from theirs. You can see where things can get a little tricky if you start sharing your values with particular people, depending upon their personality and how they respond to things that might be a little different than what they're used to. Now, acting on your values. Some people prefer to let their actions speak for themselves. Okay, it's kind of interesting. A lot of the little stories and ways that the author presents information. Now, the book also points out the benefits of relaxation exercises, because you can't be stressed and relaxed at the same time. That's the old Dr. Jacobson information, that brought this into our awareness decades ago. So, if you're stressed, well, work on getting really good at relaxation exercises, because that's going to then obviously, reduce your level of stress. Anyway, kind of an interesting read, and I thought it was an easy read, and might be something you look into. Anyway, I hope it's helpful, and that is it. Thank you.